If you struggle with what to write in your social media content, I'm going to give you some really great ideas to get you started and get you rocking on your social media. So on today's Master It Monday, I'm going to be talking about creating strong captions for your social media. It's not just about images on social, it's about what you say. So let's get started. Now, if you're struggling with what to say on your social media, it you can really get lost and confused, and you can really end up messing everything up and wasting time and time and time again on trying to create content. You have to have a goal, you have to have a purpose. And today we're going to give you some tried and true methods that have helped me out because, guys, I was there. I know what it's like to struggle with how to come up with content. That's why I developed a process for myself and for my clients so that I don't struggle with what to write all the time. I'm not saying that I don't struggle at all because we all do. We all wonder what we should be posting on social media when you're running a business, right? But I go back to my steps and my tips and my advice that I've written out for my clients, and I follow it myself. So let's get right into the first thing that you should be always looking at when it comes to your social. If you keep this in mind, you will be stellar. And that's determining your goal of the post, determining your goal of your brand, determining of why you're posting on social media, right? When you keep your goal in mind and you write your caption, it's so much easier because you know what you're targeting. You know where you're going to. You're keeping that in mind. What's your main goal, right? We all want to get more sales. We all want to get more sales. I get that. But it's beyond that. Focus on a specific goal, what you're trying to attain, what you want your followers to feel, what you want them to do, and then write your caption. It'll make it so much easier. Now, the first thing in a caption is going to be that hook, right? It's a way you're going to draw in that person, right? You want it to be different and eye opening. You don't want it to be the same as somebody else, but what are they going to get when they read this? So it's like, do you struggle with what to write on social media? That's the hook. It could be, do you want to get more followers? Are you not getting new followers? Are you stuck in your social media? What is the thing that the post is going to answer? You've got to touch that pain point first and then share the next step, which is the interesting information, informative, interesting, entertaining. What is the pain point you're talking about, and how are you going to solve it? Because that's what people want. And then you can do the next step, which is give them a call to action. So those three components are really important. Those three components are so important: the hook, the interesting, authentic information, and a call to action. Now, here are a couple of things to keep in mind. I just mentioned authenticity. You the call to action is key, but if you're not authentic, if you're not building trust, the call to action is not going to get you any traction, right? You have to be genuine. Never try to be someone you're not. You want your ideal prospects to follow you and to know that you're going to begin a beautiful relationship with them because you're true to yourself and it resonates with people, and that speaks to here being audience focused. If you're always thinking of your audience, if you're always thinking of your audience, that is going to come through in your posts. And really, guys, that's what sells, right? Because you care, you genuinely care about somebody else's challenge that they're having. That's the reason you developed your business, is to have a solution to somebody's problem. And when you have the solution, people will pay for that solution. People will go to you because they know you're the industry expert. So focus your posts on your audience And you will find that when you do that, it will resonate with your audience and they will be more than likely to use you or refer you or comment on your posts. It all plays to that. Now, one of the things that can help you is by creating a story. Now, storytelling, we all love a good story. Look, this is movies and TV, and right? We want to know, we want to see that hero conquer evil, right? We want to see somebody overcome a challenge. Creating a story can sometimes be hard, but think about it. We all have a story. We all had a challenge we had to overcome. We all had a problem. We had to find a solution. And then we ended up, hopefully, on the great end of the story, which was happy, right? Sometimes, there's a great quote and it says, you know, I, when I was successful, I celebrated, but when I failed, I learned something. So when you're telling a story, keep that in mind. What are you imparting? What wisdom are you imparting so that somebody else doesn't have to go through a challenge that you successfully overcame? It's so cool. So keep that in mind when you're writing it. Find an easy way to explain your product or your service. And a great way to do that is by telling a story. You could tell a customer journey, right? A customer came to me and they were so stressed out because they didn't know how to do their social media. They didn't understand the platform. They didn't know what to post. They didn't know how to post. They didn't know what social media platform to be on, right? They were so stressed out. Well, they met for me with me for 30 minutes, and then I showed them what we needed to do. We talked it out. We got it done, and now they meet with me 30 minutes once a month, and their social media is done for them. They don't have to worry. This is a great way to tell a story, right? Give them a struggle, give them the solution, give them the journey, give them how the solution ended up helping them. So storytelling is awesome. Record those customer successes, and remember here, according to Jerome Brunner, he said stories are remembered up to 22 times more than facts. 22 times more. So when you're telling a story, rather than just leaving a fun fact, you're actually helping retention for your clients so they'll remember that story. So the next one is engagement. So this is a way to grow your social media. A lot of people post on social media, but when we talk about engagement, it's like if somebody leaves a comment on your post, you need to engage back. It's like going up to somebody and saying hi and they walk away, right? You don't do that. In real life, you shouldn't do it on social. So if somebody posts a comment on one of your posts, if somebody leaves a comment, make sure you like it, give it that love, give a little bit of feedback, ask another question on that social media post because that will also end up, they'll reply, right? Because you're conversing, you're being social. So engage in that. It helps you understand your audience just a little bit more. And that's where you're going to end up maybe possibly coming up with other content that can help you grow your social media presence and build your client base. Now, don't forget when you're developing your content to remember keywords. So you write out your content, maybe tell a story, but use keywords. What are the words that people search for when they're looking for the solution to their problem that you solve in your business, right? Those keywords. And remember, it's not the keywords that you want, that you use, right, in your business. It's the keywords they use to search. They may not know a technical term that you use in your business on an everyday basis. So, what is a word that the customer would use, the client would use, the prospect would use when they're searching for your business? And that's a way to really use it. That's a great way to put in a hook or a teaser in the beginning because they some people are only looking at the first line or the first couple of lines. Sometimes they're only looking at the graphic, but that's a whole nother story for another day. So keep those keywords in mind when you're creating your content. Now, talking about imagery, we just said sometimes people only look at the graphic. Have some keywords in that graphic too, because if they see it, it may help them. But you don't want to have a post about spring and show uh, snow, right? You have to match your imagery to what you're talking about. So if you're talking about struggling on social media, you may have somebody who's got their head in their hands with a phone, and that pain, that anguish that they're feeling could resonate. But maybe you're talking about, oh, I just found a solution to my problem and I'm smiling and I'm happy and I'm typing on my keyboard, right? Totally different feel. But match your imagery to your caption so that it's also matching your brand, right? Like all this is foundational to your brand. So if it doesn't resonate with your brand, do not use it. We struggle sometimes with finding the best photo. That's why we love Canva. We do use the paid version of Canva because it makes it so much easier to find photos. But don't forget, there's other free, um, sites that you can go to that have public domain images such as Pexels and Pixabay. Those are both great places where you can find imagery. And of course, people love to see you in your business. So make sure you're taking those photos every once in a while of you in action, because those will really be great to post with your social media. Now, we can't talk about captions without talking about hashtags. So when you're using hashtags, depending on your platform, you want to have hashtags that are that will give you more engagement. Like that's the goal of the hashtag. Excuse me. So when you're looking at growing your engagement, you want to have hashtags. It sort of categorizes it. Now, are there's been some recent discussion about how hashtags are starting to lose favor because people are now being able to search, so it's no big deal, but people still follow hashtags. I still follow hashtag social media tips, right? These are things that you want to use until we know for sure whether they're not being used. And I'm still seeing them being used and I'm still seeing them generate leads. So I would strongly suggest you take a look at hashtags. We have a whole series of hashtag videos on the YouTube channel. So please go to youtube.com/masteritmedia and check that out, because when you do, you're going to find that this is definitely, hashtags are definitely still being used and definitely a good thing to check out. So don't forget, use those hashtags, because those hashtags are going to help you grow your social media presence by showing your post to a new audience. Now, the last piece is to analyze your data. Now, you might be saying, well, Maggie, analyzing data, what does that have to do with creating content? It has everything to do with creating content. When you create content and you look at your analytics, if the content resonates with your followers, you're going to get more engagement. If it doesn't resonate, you're not going to get as much engagement. Now, granted, it could be the time that you post, and there's a whole bunch of other factors, but check out your analytics to see what really resonates. You'll find things like transformational posts, like before and afters, things like that, traditionally do well. Okay. Photos with smiley, happy people tend to do well, right? So look at your post, look at the content, look at what you're posting, what imagery is going along with it, and analyze that data and see what resonates with your audience. If you get a lot of likes and shares on a post, then you should try to post more things like that, not the same post, but more things like that, because that will help you with your engagement. That'll help you with your numbers. It'll help you, of course, with the algorithm that sits behind all of these things, that's trying to figure out where to give your content, where to present your content, to whom it should go in front of, right? It's all of that information that's going on. Now, if you really struggle with creating your own content and you need help, I want you to take a visit over to painlessposting.com. We have a great product that helps businesses get their social media done for them in less than 5 minutes a day. It comes with captions, hashtags, companion graphics, the whole nine yards, and gives you everything you need except your insight to put in about your industry. So check out Painless Posting. Let me know if it's something that you really think would help your business, because take the 7-day challenge. It's free. It'll get you 7 days worth of content. Now, of course, we're always here on YouTube. You can join us Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're here to help you with free advice and tips and tricks on how to get the most out of these amazing social media platforms. Follow us on Instagram. I'm always dropping great content. And of course, if you need to reach out to me, masteritmedia.com. We're here to help you take the commotion out of your promotion. I hope to see you next Monday at 2 o'clock. Have a fabulous day and get that content creating and nail it, because your followers need your insight. Have a great day, everyone.